All right, so welcome to my somewhat messy paint desk. I got a bunch of KROOT on here, and yeah, this is what I've been working on. Just basically, let's see if it'll focus there. Yeah, I'm blocking in all these KROOT. I went with a bunch of various different skin tones. I'm gonna see if I can pull that in a little bit. No, it was better before. Like I said, this is a test stream, so you can let me know if it's not working. There we go. There we go. Mr. KROOT. Yeah, I love these models. My first army was the Tau Empire, and that was back when I was like 12, and I have always wanted to actually do an army when I could paint well, and yeah, now's the time. Now is the time. So let me see if I can figure out how to get this chat up here so I can talk to you guys. Let me see here. I feel like that's in here. I thought there was a way that I could. See what's going on here. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing no sound. Check, check. Hey, can you hear me? Andrew, thanks for popping in the chat, man. If you will let me know. Can you hear me? Awesome, sweet. Happy to be painting with you, man. The Blood Angels army set looks awesome. Yeah, so I'm gonna start blocking in. I done some ultramarines as well. They're a lot of fun to paint. Are you doing both a Ultramarines army and a Blood Angels army, or are you going to use the Blood Angels stuff just as more Ultramarines? Sweet, here we go. Yeah, I like the KROOT. They've always had kind of a special place in my heart. I actually have one of the miniatures out of these 20 is the body of one of the old OG KROOT that I still had in a box that I found, and I was able to put a new head and new arms on it, and it really fits in well. I'll pull them up here in a minute. But he's just a little shorter than the newer ones, but not so much that you would notice once he's in the squad. Ooh, nice. 4th company for display. Very cool. My introduction to Warhammer, at least like the lore and the backstory, was through the Ultramarines omnibus with Uriel Ventress, and man, what a great series of novels that is. I believe he was 4th company. But no, that's super cool. Both of those Space Marine forces are really, really nice. Being able to really take your time on those Ultramarines will be a blast. So really on these KROOT, my thinking is just to block in the black on everything that isn't the skin and isn't going to be like a lighter tone. And so my thought on this is we're going to do the quills pretty dark, and we're going to do a lot of the like sashes and stuff as more of a leather. I haven't decided if it's going to be like a light brown or a dark brown, like more of like a Rhinox hide color, or if it's going to be more like snakebite leather type of look. So I'll probably test a couple of things and see how it goes, but yeah, right now just blocking in this group of 20. Takes about 15 minutes to just get the black on all of these on like a single guy, but it's going to do a lot of the hard work for me in separating the different elements of the miniature. Oh, nice. I don't think I have Baneblade Brown. I'll have to check that one out. I have Gorthor Brown, but I don't have Baneblade. So I will definitely have to check out that combination. Baneblade's more like a tan brown, if I remember correctly, which actually might be nice with this green. Getting in here to the inside of his gun, like on most of these miniatures, has been really tough to not hit the other parts of the mini. but I have not seen the leaked Emperor's Children. That sounds awesome though. They really need a glow up. Bumping this thing on my head. Tell you what, filming for some tutorials and different things that I've painted, it's not easy to paint with a camera. I'm glad the autofocus is at least working with me tonight. So our Ultramarines and Blood Angels, your only two armies, Andrew, or are you, do you dabble in some of the Chaos varieties as well? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, this, basically there's a couple of different skin tones that I went with, and I'll put a couple of them next to each other just so you can kind of see the variation. So they're all going to look really cohesive together, but you can kind of see this one's a little bit more of that saturated green. This one's kind of a desaturated green in the middle. And then this one is actually more of a brown green color. So I did 3 different tones, just mixing a couple of different paints in the airbrush, and then did a Guilliman Flesh wash over all of it. So that has really like settled nicely in the recesses and has drawn all of the flesh tones together, which is really nice. For the greens, used Plague Bear Flesh mixed with Lorraine Forest over a zenithal, like brown, and then a zenithal, and then these, and then for the tan, the more tan ones, I actually mixed in some of this Mournfang, which really gave it more of a brown color. So yeah, I just tried some stuff and it ended up working out pretty well. Happy the experiment worked. So dabble in Blood Bowl too. That is one thing that I have not tried and haven't ever been super drawn to, but the people that I know that play Blood Bowl just rave about it. Say it's an awesome game. So the hardest thing about these KROOT minis is these little quills. I'm trying to get them. I'm actually finding more usefulness out of this larger brush, but for these little quills, it's pretty tough. So I'm sure they will get touched up. Andrew, I don't know if you Instagram or social media, but you can always find me over Nightly Painting Studio on Instagram or Facebook. Send me some pics of what you're working on, man. I'd love to see those. Love to see those Ultramarines and Blood Angels whenever you start those. I get inspired by what other people are working on. Yeah, so I seeing your comment on there, I have a few different armies. I've got some Custodes that I did a while back. They're probably my oldest painted army. Definitely a lot more I would do now if I had been painting that now. I did a full that's awesome, man. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And if you ever get on social media, honestly, I'm not a huge social media fan myself, so I don't blame you for not being on there. But if you ever find yourself on there, go hit me up, man. But yeah, thank you. Excited to be interacting with you in the future. But yeah, so Tau have always been kind of a army that I really like. I love the look of them, the mechs, the infantry, the different auxiliaries, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, my other main force is a Black Templars force that I've been working on for a couple of years now, since the release of the new kits, and really lavished some attention on that force. So they're a lot of fun, but also it's time consuming to paint. So, and I'm not the fastest painter in the world. I like to take my time. It's kind of one of those Zen things. Yeah, I am in Central Florida, a town called Ocala. Yep. Moved here at the end of 2021. And yeah, I'm loving it so far. Weather's great. How about you, Andrew? Nice. What part of the UK? Oh, sick. That's awesome. Access to the mothership. I would eventually like to get over to Warhammer World. That seems like a really cool thing to be able to do. Yeah, I've got a 14-month-old right now, and so I'd say when time and money permit, I will definitely have to make a trip over there. I hear such good things. What kind of red are you thinking about for the Blood Angels? Oh, nice. Yeah, Grimdark style is the bomb, man. I tell you can't go wrong with the Games Workshop Reds. I have tried a number of different reds, and I just keep coming back to Mephiston red. And yeah, so I've actually gone for a red with my Tau, and I am super happy with it. I took from the tutorial that the Tabletop Tactics guys, Fletcher in particular, did, and modified certain things slightly just to fit my own tastes. But I did the Farsight Enclaves. Let me see if I can grab a mini real quick after I'm done with this. Yep. All right. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, so there's just a regular breacher. Did the Pathfinder kill team. So there's one of the Pathfinders. I think this is the comms person. Here's a drone. So this is the recon drone. And here's the commander battlesuit, only battlesuit I've done so far. So, yep, a little free hand on the shield. So, yeah, super happy with how this one came out. Yeah, but like I said, I took from the Farsight Enclave's tutorial on tabletop tactics. So if you want a full rundown on how to paint those, that's hands down the best Farsight Enclave's tutorial I have seen. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. It's easy when you see somebody else do it and you just kind of have to recreate it. But I wanted something that wasn't like super bright green and wasn't like real gray for the KROOT, and so I think it'll really help them stand apart from the Force, to be that nice semi-saturated green brown. Yeah, I think it's gonna work real good. So yeah, if you're looking for red and you are willing to do that more zenithal style, yeah, I'm thinking about getting the kill team for the Vespids. Those things are really cool looking. This stuff is the red that I used on those Tau, and it's just this over black and white. So black prime, white zenithal, or dry brush, however you want to do it, and then spray this on through the airbrush. You can brush it on, it probably won't give the same effect, but if you've got an airbrush, this is the stuff. So yeah, definitely eyeing those Vespid. They're really cool. Really cool. I liked the Tempestus models as well, though. I thought they did a really good job with both of those kill teams. Both very unique. Because honestly, I don't much like the look of the normal Scion models, but I do like those, so might be worth picking up the box. Yeah, that red, it's like 3 thin layers of that red. And I mean, if you're doing a whole army, it would take like 0 time at all to just go through and just lightly spray one model, put it down, lightly spray the next one, put it down. So that might be your easy red. I will also say Blood Angels red and Flesh Terrors red contrast paints are pretty similar. So and in the same kind of format. Those would work well though, even if you wanted to, even if you didn't have an airbrush. I think those would probably be really great bets. I feel like the Flesh Terrors is a bit more rich, at least in what I've used the Flesh Terrors for. I used it quite extensively for my Black Templar force, for the reds in that, and like capes and stuff like that. And while it wasn't as vibrant, it was much more realistic red. So if you're going for that grim dark, that could be another thing to take a look at. Might be a little more easily accessible than the Naphthol Crimson as well from Liquitex. So yeah, contrast paints are tricky for me. I actually really like them, but not in the intended use that Games Workshop made them for. I think they're really great filters. I think they're really great at providing coverage for something, but I think if you don't want them to look like they're contrast painted, then you have to do a little something more with them, or use them through the airbrush. And that's 99% of how I use contrast paints is actually through the airbrush or as a glaze or a filter. So I'll give you an example here in a second when I can put my brush down. So the blue skin on the towel is a contrast paint mix so basically I did an underpainting of, I believe it was Thunderhawk blue, which is kind of a really desaturated gray blue. And I did that, and basically that created my light tone and my shadows underneath. And so then I came back in with that concentrated mix of the blue tones and basically put a glaze of that blue tone over the skin, over the glow effects, over the feet. And it just brought out the vibrancy of that blue on the skin. And so I think personally that that's the way to use contrast paint. I mean, if you're just looking to slap paint on something to get it on the table, then that's one thing. Or if you've done a zenithal and you want to go kind of like that slap chop method, then yeah, you could definitely do that and use contrast paint. I think if you just don't want it to look like contrast paint, you're gonna have to put some extra work in. That's my 2 cents. But yeah, I think that's a great question, because I don't believe that the way that they sold those was the best way to use them. I think they're really great for people who maybe have never painted miniatures before. Just to kind of get a grasp on, what to do. But I think there's a certain point where they become another tool in the toolbox, but they're not magic. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're painting right now, what are you working on? I am blocking in some of these KROOT. Yeah, definitely, Andrew. Yeah, I think they are definitely like beginner friendly, which is great. In my opinion, if it gets people putting paint on miniatures and getting them on the table and generating that sense of pride and accomplishment in what they've done, then they're going to want to get better. And I think that will lead them to other techniques. So. House War Griffin, Imperial Knight. Nice. I'm guessing is that for Horus Heresy then that you're working on? Those nights are super cool. Super cool. Yeah, Andrew, yeah, I've heard of that effect before. I have only experienced it when I haven't done something right, but that's also because of the product I use. So I will tell you, I don't know exactly what matte varnish you're using. But yeah, I've definitely had that happen to me for user error before. But I will tell you that 99% of the time, this stuff is the bomb. It is the bomb. Again, you're going to want to have an airbrush. Though I will say that this range does brush on. It just gives it a little bit of a different finish, and I have had, if you don't thin it enough, I have had some brush strokes show up in it. So that is something to be careful of, but this AKA Ultra Matte stuff is amazing. Honestly, all of these are really good. I feel like I've heard really good things about, oh my goodness, is it Army Painter's matte from the spray can? Oh, you've tried Army Painters as well. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the conditions that you're spraying in outside matter a ton. Honestly, most of the time you don't have to varnish your models unless you're really hard on them, which is totally fine. I'll have to do some research on that one, because I have not used spray can varnish before. When I got back into painting in 2017, I just bought a cheap Badger airbrush and compressor and one of those spray booths, and I've been using that. Yeah, I could see how maybe the can would not lend itself. I feel like I've heard quite a number of UK painters say that they've had issues with spray can varnish. Here we have the opposite. It's hot and humid. So I kind of have to pick the right days if I'm gonna, spray anything outside. Could potentially look at time of day as well. At least here in Florida, I don't know how it is in the UK, but here in Florida it is less humid. It tends to be less humid unless it rains. It tends to be less humid in the afternoon, so or even evening. So maybe time of day could help too. But yeah, I would. Oh yeah, dude, that's nuts. Trying to get that. So I hope I do not butcher your name. I'm gonna say Francis. Non-metallic metal gold trim sounds like a lot of work, and freehand griffin on the chest. Hey, that's sick. That is sick. Yeah, all over a night, man. That's ambitious. Have you done non-metallic metal before? I have not tampered with non-metallic metals a whole lot. I really, really enjoy true metallic metals, so I just haven't had the desire to really like learn that skill yet. But mad respect to the people who do, because it is not an easy technique. And yeah, Andrew, I don't know that I would go through the trouble of having to do the dehumidifier and put it in the bathroom and have your windows open. Like, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. It can be tough though. It can be tough to do to not do any varnish at any stage, because it really a lot of the paints, especially if you use different brands and if you use different like contrast paints have a lot of shine to them. They're a lot more glossy than something like I'm using the classic 950 monocolor black to block in all these, and it's super matte right out of the thing. So I feel like I'll kind of tell you my process generally, and you can maybe it'll help you. But generally, I will only varnish once or twice at a couple of different stages. So I end up doing one right before I do any of the metallics, and a lot of times that is my only varnish. Metallic paints generally tend to be pretty sturdy paints, I guess. They hold up really well, and so I tend to just varnish before I put those on and not worry about varnishing afterwards, unless for some reason I want to dull down the metal. But with the true metallic metals that I use, it's the Vallejo metal color paints. They are amazing and they look like actual metal, and so I never really want to put any varnish on them. Normally I'll do, before I put anything shiny on the model, I will do a varnish. And that tends to work pretty well. Maybe that would help not like get so much of the frosting if you do it before you have something shiny on there. I don't know. And yeah, first time with non-metallic metal gold. You've done some steel colors before. Okay, awesome. Yeah, do you enjoy that technique? Andrew, great chatting with you, man. Look forward to connecting with you more on the channel here. I'm going to try to be pretty consistent with these live streams around this time, but yeah, hopefully we can catch each other again. It's nice chatting with you. Oh, sweet. Yeah, it's nighttime here, so time differences. Have an awesome day. Yeah, same to you, Andrew. Talk to you soon. Yeah, so, yeah, Francis, yeah, I feel like, yeah, experimenting with that, it's definitely a technique that, like, I'd like to learn. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to put all the time into it that I need to actually learn the technique. I feel like I gotta have a ton of practice models, and like, you're brave, man, just going for it. That's super cool. Like, mad respect. Yeah, I feel like there's probably quite a bit of space on a night to really really have fun with it too, and experiment on larger spaces. I don't know, do you feel like that makes it easier or harder? It's so hard to get back in there without hitting the faces. Gonna do mirrored griffins on the chest. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Sometimes I feel like it's like, oh, I don't know how I did that. I was showing off some freehand I did on this Tau battle suit, and that was just a, like, fairly easy symbol to do. Like, there's not a ton of crazy design elements with it. I feel like it came out pretty good. I'm like, now I gotta do that on other stuff. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna recreate that. I definitely feel that. Yeah, I can see how that would feel that way. Like, okay, this is a lot to do to learn this one technique on. but I think that the result will be worth it. And by the time you get to the end of it, I think you'll have learned the technique really, really well. And knights are like just incredible for freehand too. The armor plates just provide so much room, like you said there. Planetary system on the shin. That's really cool. It's a great idea. And the griffin theme for knights is just perfect. Do you have other armies that you paint? Okay. There's one more to do. We'll see if I can get him done. It's the unit leader. Okay. There we go. So you can see here, I did the two kind of different greens here. So did more of a green on the leader, and then more of a pale green on the doggo. Slightly different hues, and I'll bring that out more as I do the highlights up. But Francis, look in there. Oh yeah, wow, 50K Dark Angels. Well, that's awesome. 2K Tau. All right, sweet. Red Scorpions, nice. Red Hunters. 10K Eldar, nice. Old World Trowel. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. How long have you been in the hobby? I mean, to have that kind of collection, my guess is you've probably been a part of this community for a while. Or you are a much faster painter than I am. Might be both. 36 years, man, that's awesome. It's honestly a great hobby. Been a part of it since I was a kid, and yeah, it's been a great outlet, to be honest. Sometimes airbrushing is not actually faster. You kind of have to weigh the pros and cons. I just enjoy it. And yeah, I only use contrast paints as filters or glazes as well. I tend to find that's where they work best. Otherwise, it just looks like contrast paint. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not the way I prefer to paint. Doesn't achieve the look I want. Oh, nice. Necrons, Nids, Chaos, Dark Elder. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, the way they've been putting out box sets. the dual army box sets. I feel like they come out all the time. Easy to collect all sorts of stuff. Currently, I have a 14-month-old little girl, our first, at home, and so that's been an adjustment, trying to figure out how to balance home life and kids, and also being able to spend a good amount of time doing this. And that's real life stuff. Oh, did you get the new Horse Heresy Mechanicum box set that's coming out? Those models are really cool. Oh, nice. And yes, it is definitely much cheaper than all that. It's good perspective. if you got an Instagram or a Facebook or something where you post your stuff, man, throw it in the chat. I'll give you a follow. Love to see what you're working on. Too many spicy memes. That's funny. Well, yeah, if you get on Insta, come find me, man, and I'll give you a follow back. It's Nightly Painting Studio over on Instagram, and yeah, I would love to connect over there. But I know social media is not for everybody. Honestly, I don't like it all that much, other than the hobby stuff. If you don't mind me asking, where are you joining from? I'm in Ocala, Florida. Oklahoma, nice. I'm going to try to do these pretty regularly. I sit down most nights to do some painting, and I'm just sitting here all alone. Might as well do some live streaming and talk to people. I'm off screen now. All right. Giant blood splatters. So I can only tell you what I've seen a lot of. I've seen a lot of that. I think it's Uhu glue or whatever. It's the fast curing UV resin. And I see a lot of people using that for like sticky blood between, or like coming off of like if you wanted like a blood drop hanging off of this right here, you know, you could actually like cure the resin. It would kind of be like it's doing that. So, oh snap, yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, Citadel paints aren't cheap. Closed, welcome to the chat. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, I don't know if Citadel paints are that expensive now. Probably depends on whether it's a contrast or like a big paint pot, or if it's something special. But yeah, Reaper paints are good, for sure. I'm using some Vallejo right now. Vallejo's got great paints. I've gotten some doozies from them too, though. That probably could be said for most paint companies. If there was one that made everything good, then we'd probably all be using that one, but getting this little leg band around the doggo. Sorry, painting off screen there. Yeah, there we go. We're closing in on this KROOT Carnivore leader here. Citadel metallics are good. Best metallics I've found are Vallejo Metal Color series. Those things are awesome. They look like actual metal. Yeah, these guys. The metal color paints are phenomenal. Yeah, this one and yeah, these two are my go-tos. It's kind of a I'd say like a brown steel, like a brownish steel, kind of a dirty steel look. And then this one is just a great highlight to mix in. It's really bright, reflective. It can give you that non-metallic metal look with true metallic paints, which is really cool. So. Okay, I think we got it. Sweet. Nids and Chaos Marines, sweet. How long has it been since you painted? And Francis, yeah, a lot of craft paints. Yep. Yeah, I can see the vibrancy and more coats. Yeah, I definitely get that. And yeah, the GW Golds, I actually like quite a bit as well. Honestly, Retributor Gold is a great, like, all-around gold. I generally really like that gold. Another one from them, I like Valdor Gold is actually pretty good. Citadel Gold as well. It tends to be a little more on the silvery side, but oh, 15 years, yeah, that's quite a bit. Quite a bit of time. Yeah, there's a lot of new types of paints. Formulas have changed. Yeah, so I started 40K in 4th edition with Tau, and I was like 13. So yeah, I can actually paint now, and so I'm collecting another Tau army. Here's a battle suit that I've painted with a little freehand on the shield. Got some drones, regular breacher marine, or breacher Tau guy, Pathfinder. There's a blue skin, so. And then I'll grab Got some Black Templars as well. This is There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. Here's a chaplain. Really enjoyed painting him. Black Templar Marshal. So, yeah, these guys were fun to paint. I still have quite a few more of them to paint. Sword Brother. Love doing the red capes. Red's just a great color. A blade guard veteran as well, wiping off his blade. I'll have to do a showcase for some of this stuff at some point, but yeah. Regular old Black Templar Marine. Something I did across the army was the hazard striped chain swords and chain fists and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So yeah. Yeah, so I was doing it kind of was a happy little accident actually, but I ended up doing several different skin tones on these KROOT, so you can kind of see the differences here. They all kind of blend together when they're in a big group, but one is really vibrant, nice vibrant green color there, and then you've got more of like a pale green, and then there's a green brown, almost more of a tan, and they all just work really nicely together. They don't feel too dissimilar. Plus I gave them a nice flesh wash, all the same color flesh wash, So no matter which skin tone they were, they have that tying them in together, which has seemed to really make quite a difference there, and help tie everything together. So yeah, thank you for the compliments on the skin tone for the KROOT. That was airbrushed. It was with a brown undercoat with a zenithal highlight, and then I used flesh bearer or plague bearer flesh, Lorem Forest, and then for the more browny tan skin tones, I mixed in some of the Mournfang brown with them. So I just kind of did variations of mixes between these three colors to get the different skin tones for the KROOT. And I'll be adding in something like a Rakarth flesh or a Pallid Witch flesh or something like that to brighten those tones up and do some stippled highlights. Oh yeah, I get that, like switching games, moving to a new place, finding yourself, yeah, with a bunch of professional painters. I'd be using that as an opportunity to learn some stuff. Be like, teach me your ways, teach me your ways. Yeah, 6 Deathwing, Bladeguard Veteran, oh nice. Bladeguard Ancient, 3 Risen. Oh yeah, no, that's super cool. I think the concept of the Risen for the Dark Angels is that was a really good idea from Games Workshop. Really good idea. These new KROOT miniatures are just awesome. You can actually see, so this KROOT, the body is one of the OG 2004 KROOT, but I put new weapon arms and a new head sculpt on him, and so you can see he's just a little shorter than the newer ones, but pretty similar. Pretty similar. Yeah, it's always good to learn and grow in your abilities. If you learn from people who are better painters than yourself, then you just end up rising to their level. So yeah, non-metallic metal is not easy at all to learn. I was talking about that with Francis earlier, so yeah. So I need to block in the black on the base for these, and I did that on my regular infantry and stuff for the Tau with the airbrush, because I needed to spray their legs completely black as well. So it just made sense to spray the base, but on these I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way and just block it in. Whoopee. I find that the Black Legion contrast paint works really well for this. flows right in there. All those little cracks and rocks and stuff. I feel like whenever I get to see like super nicely painted armies on the table, I'm like, oh man, it just makes me want to go paint. Makes me want to get my own armies there. Francis, thank you. Yeah, man, it was great chatting with you, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. I'm gonna try to do this pretty regularly. This is kind of the time where I've got painting time, and yeah, I know Wednesday nights are never really good for me, just due to work, but a lot of the other nights of the week I'm able to get time after the fam's down. So yeah, I'd love to catch you guys. On another broadcast. So, and if you have any ideas or thoughts or things that I can improve to make it a better experience and make it easier to, connect with other, like-minded hobbyists, let me know. Always want to improve, create a great experience for everybody. So. Francis, have a great night, and catch you on the next one. Yeah, closed. It's definitely, I feel like there is a reward for the amount of time that you're able to put into it. Like, there are some things that can be done quickly to a high standard, but a lot of times I've found it's just how much time and how many steps am I willing to put into this, and that's going to kind of determine the quality level that I can achieve. Most of the stuff with painting, as long as you have a steady hand, it's not rocket science. Yes. Dry brushing. You can use dry brushing to get some really cool effects. And I mean, everybody's on the whole slap chop thing right now too. So, you may not, that's a new phenomenon, definitely not around, maybe it was around 15 years ago, but, yeah, it's basically start with a black model, dry brush the model white, use really thin coats of paint, all over the mini, of the different colors to block it in. And you got your model. So, yeah, that's kind of the, I feel like it's kind of a fad right now. Yeah, dry brushing can really make stuff look good quickly. 100%. Closed, where are you joining us from? If you don't mind me asking. Texas, nice. I spent some time in the Dallas-Fort Worth area a number of years ago. I really like Texas. Yeah, I get that. I'm in Central Florida, so yeah, if we can get through the heat and the hurricanes, we're doing all right. So you said it's been a while since you painted. Have you been in the hobby the whole time, or are you coming back to it, or did you randomly find this this channel, or? Random click, nice. Yeah, that's really hot. We haven't had that kind of heat here in Florida. Honestly, I thought we were going to have more hurricanes than we've had. Yeah, I mean, 40K is, well, Warhammer in general, they're doing a lot of great stuff right now. Doing a lot of great stuff right now. It's becoming more mainstream too, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if I am 100% excited about it being mainstream, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Still an extremely niche hobby, but it's more known than it used to be. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. I'm wondering if they're going to actually come up with something or not. Yeah, I agree with that. He was the right pick to lead. He was the right pick. I'm a huge fan of Cavill. You can just tell he cares. And yeah, hurricane season, it started extremely early. Hopefully you were not impacted where you were at. I know. I feel like there's a lot of shows right now that if they just stuck to the source material, they'd be fine. But that doesn't seem like something people are very interested in at the moment. Just my 2 cents. Watching from afar. Though Space Marine 2 seems like it's going to be a great game. From everything I have seen. Waited long enough for it. Good, I'm glad the weather's been a little more bearable than usual for you. That's always nice. Always nice. Alright, I'm going to do one more of these bases and then I am going to call it quits for the night. But, I'm glad you jumped in here on a random click. Maybe it'll inspire you to buy a box of miniatures and pick up the paintbrush again. Yeah, drop in next time. Love to have you back again. You know, I found it's a really good way to just relax at the end of the day. Just kind of turn my brain off and chat with some awesome people and actually make something with my hands instead of looking at screens all the time. Oh, nice. Yeah, 3D printing is not something I've gotten into, but I feel like I hear that's a whole hobby of its own. So, yeah, I've always had friends that do D&D, but it's not something I've ever really dove into. So, all right. All right, hey, there we go. Closed. Let me know if you can hear that audio now. But yeah, like I said a couple of times, sweet. I'm Corbin, and I'm here in Ocala, Florida. I have been running the nightly painting studio for a few years now, kind of been on and off YouTube. I do a little bit of commission painting, but mostly just enjoy it, like getting out to the game store. And thanks for hanging in there with me tonight, or during the day if you're across the pond. But super looking forward to doing this more often, getting to know some people, building some community. My goal is to encourage, inspire, and equip other painters to be the best they can be. So, this is fun. Well, I will pop back on tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll see some of y'all again, and we'll make some new friends. So thanks. Have a great night. Peace.